Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Maddie and thank you so much for watching. So I know it's been a minute since I filmed. I've had a lot kind of going on personally, so I just haven't been in the right mindset to film, but I did have this video in mind, so I wanted to do it because it's really fun. So today I wanted to do a video where we try out different makeup tips, like pro tips and tricks, hacks, whatever you want to call them, just for different aspects of your makeup, such as contouring, highlighting under your foundation, the soap brow, so whatever. You get the idea. So if you want to stick with me and see what I look like at the end of this video, then keep on watching. And don't forget to subscribe down below. Thanks, guys. Alright, you guys. So today we're going to be testing out a bunch of hacks. Like I said before, we're going to do contouring and highlighting under our foundation. Supposedly that's what they do to J-Lo, so we'll see if we look like her. I want to do some stuff with the brows, how to overdraw your lip so it looks like more natural but still full. So we're going to try a bunch of stuff today and see if it works. If it's a fail, we'll see what happens. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime. I don't have any tricks there. I did get this little Ipsy bag, which is kind of cute. I actually ended up canceling it because it was the wrong subscription that I wanted, but I did get the first bag because I paid for it. So I just got it yesterday. They have some cute stuff in here. So I got this cute nail polish. I got this from Pacifica. It's a blush and bronzer. This cute ass little eyeshadow. It's called What's the Tea? It's like a teacup. That's the cutest thing you've ever seen. Okay. Broke it. And then I got this soothing mask as well. So I figured we could try out a couple things in here. I have a bunch of other new stuff to try out, so we'll incorporate that as well. But the first thing I got is this Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer from Ciate, London. Can you see it? Can you see it? I already have a moisturizer and sunscreen on. I've been using the Kula Sunsilk and I actually have been liking it. This has little beads in it. Smells good. Seems like watermelon's the huge scent this year. So I'll put it on and see what she feels like. There's one of the little blue balls here. See, they kind of burst. This says it's a hydrating primer. So that's always good for me. Cactus. I'm a human cactus, essentially. Okay, we'll let that soak in for a second. Smells good. I've never used any of Ciate London's primers before. I don't know how they work. My fingers do feel a little bit tacky, so my skin probably will as well. Sorry, I have my breakfast. It's 10 o'clock on a Sunday. Excuse me. Alright, so we feel pretty tacky. I don't know if you can see that stick. So the next thing I want to do is I want to throw on my what's the word? My concealer and my contour or whatever. We use it kind of as bronzing. And do that under foundation. Supposedly it gives you a more natural look when you put foundation on top of it as opposed to doing your foundation and then this on top of that. So we're going to start with concealer. This is my Pacifica Liquid Cover Concealer in 20 NF. We're going to run it under the eyes. Kind of right here. One thing I'm super excited to try is the soap brow. Pumped about that. Cover up these little crazy spots I'm having down here for my eczema. Alright. Then we will put our bronzer, which is our Well People bio-based bronzer stick. There. It's gonna look crazy for a while, so nobody panic. Okay, now what should I use? I'm going to use my Clairsonic Mia to get the bronzer kind of going. See how fast that blends out? Ooh, there's nothing like this quick. And you don't blend it too much like you would if it was on top of your foundation, because you kind of still want it to be a little bit darker so you can see it through your foundation. So just blend her out. Alright, so that's the bronzer blended out. It looks so much crazier on camera than it actually does in person. I'm like, I just look that bad, and I look on camera and I'm like, I look like a monster. But we'll get there. So the next thing I'm actually going to try is the June & Co. sponge. It's like the fiber, like microfiber sponge. So remember I bought the generic one from CVS and it was hard as a rock. Like, this one's super soft. This one's like dense. So I was kind enough to receive this from a friend of mine. She sent me the real one and we're going to try it out right now. I don't know what side to use. I never use these sides, so let's use it and see what happens. I know that Nikki Tutorials, who's a huge YouTuber, swears by this sponge. It's like her favorite, so. There we go. So this isn't necessarily to take the place of your foundation. This is just to kind of have a more natural looking highlight and contour underneath that kind of does the work for you. Then I think it also allows you to use less foundation because you already have like a decent base going on. So like I said, this, I wouldn't, like, the point is not to go out like this. You're not like, oh, we're done. Like, you put something on top of this to obviously mellow it out. Okay. So I like this little sponge. I mean, I don't know that it's like life-changing or anything, but I like it. So this is how we look. Fresh. I'm going to a 1-year-old's birthday party, so this is totally appropriate. I should go like this. Surprise! No, just kidding. Alright, so now let's do foundation. So I think I'm going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation Concealer. Alrighty, so foundation's on. We have our highlight contour underneath. I actually really like the way it looks. I think you can tell, but it's super subtle, which I enjoy. So the next thing I want to do is I want to do some brow hacks that I've seen. So the first thing that you do, I've cleaned out kind of the foundation concealer from my brows because that definitely gets in there. And we are going to throw some translucent powder over the brow. So this kind of absorbs any excess oil and stuff you have in your brow so that the color is just sticking to your brow hair and you're not getting all those excess. Like, it doesn't make your product, I guess, slip around. It helps your product stay. So I just use the Jeffree Star Magic Setting Powder in the color Rose for that. I'll probably use it also under my eyes in a second. So that kind of, like I said, absorbs the oil in your brow, which is a super helpful trick. And then the next one that I'm really excited to try is actually the soap brow. I know this has been around probably for a couple of years, but I've never tried it. And it's supposed to be a really good dupe for brow gel. It's supposed to hold your hair in place, which is always my problem. My brow hair likes to like fall down. So I have my spoolie. You're supposed to wet the spoolie and then rub it on the soap. The dry soap. So I just have this little bar here. I'm sure if you use clear, that's probably better, but I don't have a clear, so you just go and work with it. So I'm going to spray my spoolie. Can I get it nice and damp? This little setting spray, this coconut primer water, is awesome from Wet n Wild. It smells super good too. So now you take this and you kind of get some of the soap on there. And then you're supposed to just be able to brush your hair the direction you want it. And it kind of deposits the soap. And then you let it dry for a second and it keeps the hair in place. So I'm just brushing them up for kind of a more wild, natural brow. So I don't know if you can see the difference. Yeah, you can see they're kind of up here, and here they're just kind of doing whatevs. So just brush them up. And this will be a good test because, like I said, my brow hair just do whatever they want. They don't necessarily listen to me, so we'll see if in a little bit they're still up. So I'm just going to do the other side. So you just put the brow hairs in the direction you want and then let them kind of just hang out. So I was doing this, trying to do this the other day, and what I missed was I was just doing it with a dry spoolie, and obviously it makes more sense to do it with a wet spoolie to help pick up the product on a dry soap bar. I'm going to zoom in really quick so you can see how they look, because they definitely are up. Can you see them? Can you see them? They're very much up compared to how they were. Oh, you could feel like they're kind of getting stiff too, which I like. Because I think a fluffier brow is kind of in these days, so we're going to let these dry. I'm just going to put some powder under my eyes really quick while we're in super close. Let's point out any creasing. Okay. Ooh. Can you see how up my brows are? I kind of love it because my brows literally always come down. Like, it's so annoying that I put brow gel, they come down. I do this, they come down. So this may be a really nice hack for me, and if you have problems with like the directionality of your eyebrow hairs, might be a good one for you. So let's take my Jane Iredale brow pencil that I've been loving. It's just like a micro, like a fine tipped brow pencil, my favorite kind. This is the color Blonde, I believe. And then we are just going to kind of do little brow strokes to fill in the sparse areas. So this is also a little bit of a different technique for me. I usually just kind of color them in like willy-nilly. I just go, you know. So this gives for more of a natural appearance instead of like blocky, which is not necessarily what I was going for, but I wasn't like really trying to avoid that either. So we're just gonna fill all this in. We're going to do a little line under here to give us a little definition. This soap brow is like doing things right now. Like, I can feel it. So this is filled in, this is not filled in, but they both have, so that's filled in, not filled in. But they both have like the hairs going up, which I love. So this brow pencil is definitely a win from Jane Iredale. Alright, I'm obsessed kind of with this brow. It gets so natural looking and like fluffy. This edge always looks a mess. I don't know why. Okay. Nice. Look how good these look. Ignore this mess right here. This is what happens when I go out in the sun. My skin rejects it, of course, like it rejects everything else. Another trick is you just use concealer as an eyeshadow base. I did get a new eyeshadow base in my Petite Vour box, which is like clean subscription box, which is really awesome. But I'm not going to do anything with the eyes. I'll probably just use a bronzer today. Because like I said, I'm going to a kid's party. Like, I just kind of keep it chill. Chill. Who can pick that, who can name that movie? My sister can if she's watching. Chill. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below if you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Alright, I'm kind of happy with these hacks so far. So, next I'm just going to put bronzer on. There's no hack there. I'm going to use the Pacifica Bronzed Rose and Coconut Infused Blush and Bronzer. I'm just going to use the bronzer because this is kind of a really shimmery blush. Let me swatch it and see how I feel. Yeah, so it's not like, I don't know if you can even see it. It's not much of a, I don't know. I'm not feeling it that much. But I am feeling this bronzer right here. So we're going to dip into that and bronze up the skin. So this is what we look like. We look super highlighted in the face on camera. I don't think it looks that intense in person, but I do have one of those like metallic-y things that goes in your car windshield to keep the heat out. So I'm using that as a reflector on my desk because I've seen other YouTubers use it to kind of give them more light from underneath. So that may be why it looks so different, but I'm just going to go over kind of everything with my sponge again that still probably has a little foundation on it to just mellow everything out. If you feel like you went too heavy, just go back in with your sponge. So this doesn't seem to like absorb product, which is nice. I think that's like the point of the microfiber in it. I think the skin looks really good. Here for it. Alright. What do I want to do next? So one of the things that I learned, because I watched a couple different videos to see how different people do different things to make your makeup look more cohesive, more natural, more this, more that. So one of the things was actually pairing your lipstick to your blush to your eyeshadow to make everything look cohesive, which I don't really do. I kind of just pick what I want, which is whatever. You can do whatever you want, but this is probably smarter, I guess. So she actually recommended that you do your blush last so that you can match it to your lip color. And then she also recommended throwing a little bit just in the very outskirts of your eye look so that everything kind of matches together, which I think is genius, which I've never thought of doing before. So I'm just going to quickly kind of do the eyes using this little What's the Tea from the Balm. It's called Ooh La La. Look at how cute. This is the actual shadow. It's like a teacup. I'm obsessed. So I'm going to throw that. I'm going to throw some translucent powder first over my lids because she's creasy. Okay. Okay. Maybe I should throw some on my chin. Maybe we'll throw some all over the face. Why the heck not? It can tone down our crazy bronzer situation up here too. Because I'm going to be probably melting in the sun. Like I said, I do have SPF on. Very important. Alright, so that kind of toned us down a little bit. So now we're going to go in with our little eyeshadow. Just on a little fluffy blender. Oof, she's got kick up. We'll start on the outer edge and kind of just blend. Oh, she's kind of dark. I'm trying to keep my eyeshadow kind of going more this way as opposed to just straight down into my crease. Kind of make your eyelid look bigger, and it kind of connects down to your nose. Over to your nose to kind of make that look more defined. You can see the difference. Alright, so I like how we're looking. We're looking obviously pretty, you know, just flat and bronzed, I guess. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put my highlighter on before my blush. So I think what I'll be doing from now on is putting my blush last. That way it kind of coordinates better with my lip color. So I want to put highlighter. So what this does, instead of putting highlighter on the very top of your blush and your bronzer, you put your highlight like before your blush, and then you would use your blush to almost blend between the highlight and the bronzer. That way you don't just have that white or highlighty streak on top of the blush, and you can see it's super obvious. It kind of just looks like you know, amateur hour. I've done it, it happens, it is what it is. But this is a nice way to kind of make them look more blended and not so just like bam, I swipe some highlight on. So this is actually from Milk Makeup. I am a part of BoxyCharm, and BoxyCharm did a little online pop-up shop where they had a bunch of, like, I think products from past boxes, I'm assuming, like individual products, and they were all on sale. So if you are a BoxyCharmer, you can go on there and order stuff. So I ordered a couple of things just to try, and this Milk Makeup holographic highlighting powder was one of them. This is the color Mars. And it's like a pretty, like, pinky gold. So I'm excited because I've never tried anything from Milk, and I know, you know, people really like their product. I just haven't tried them for not any particular reason. But so I'm actually gonna spray my face and use the Wet n Wild 3-in-1 coconut water. Use my fan. I really like the way this is looking though. Like, I'm into it. These brows, I'm obsessed. Obsessed. I'm not going to do my brows any other way until somebody can show me something better. I highly recommend it if you have like really unruly brow hair that you can't seem to control like I do. Brow gel never, it like helps for a second, and then within a little bit they're down. So if these stay up all day, sold. Done. Okay, where were we? Oh, highlight. Also, I think if you spray your skin down and kind of help everything melt together and then put your highlight on top where your skin's a little bit dewy but not super crazy, it just makes it look a little less powdery as well. So let's do this. Ooh, whoa. You guys can see that? That's pretty. Yeah, I've never used any Milk products before, so I know people love their Kush mascara. Alright, what else? They have, I mean, they have like a full line, so I'm just going to use my finger a little bit to kind of ease that in. Okay. So I like how that looks. I'm going to curl my eyelashes using my little Pure Cosmetics holographic eyelash curler. I do like that Ciate London watermelon primer. I like the way it felt, and I like the way my skin looks. Like, I have a ton of peach fuzz on my face. I don't shave it because then I'll get like all kind of weird irritation. Like, it's just not worth it for me to shave it all off, so I just deal with it. And a lot of times that can like emphasize, you know, your foundation or just that you have makeup on in general. Don't mind my hair, I have a lot of texturizing products in it. What's happening? What is happening? We're losing control. So this actually makes it look really nice, and it kind of laid flat. So I don't know if that's because it's super tacky or what, but I like it. Alright, so I just threw some mascara on. I use the Honest Beauty mascara. This is the one that has the primer on one side, the mascara on the other. So I really like this one. You just have to go in slowly because it can build up really quickly. But look at how nice my lashes look. Like, I love them. And then I also just ran this little, what's the tea, eyeshadow on the lower lash line. I'm not putting any mascara on there on the bottom just to keep it light. But one trick that I did see was instead of putting black on both the top and the bottom, put black on the top so it gives a heavier look, and then you put brown on the bottom so it gives it a lighter, more natural look, but you still have some definition. So I would have done that. I just don't have a brown mascara. It's not something I use, but maybe it's something I'll pick up in the future. So next, I'm very excited to test out this lip hack. So this is like how to overdraw your lips and kind of contour them a little. This could be a big fail. Who knows? So I'm going to use my Honeybee Gardens lip pencil in the color Perfection because it's one of my favorites. It's kind of like a, I don't know, it's like a darker color, so we'll probably use it on the outer. And then I also have, I think this might be good, the gel liner from Wet n Wild, the Perfect Pout gel liner in the color Bear to Comment. So this is more of like this kind of pinky shade. So I think we'll start with this. So both things, sorry, I'm trying to center myself. Both things I saw, or multiple things, said that you don't really overdraw the bottom. Okay, let's even her out because this goes a little bit. My lips are clearly a little uneven. Try just naturally. And then you don't overdraw out here either. You just keep the overdrawing to the Cupid's bow and kind of like the top of the lip. So I'm going to do a regular. So this is like my actual lip line. And now we'll go a little bit like above here, around the very top. And that's kind of overdrawn a little bit. You can see the difference. Natural, but still like just a little something more. So now I'm going to go in with my darker one and kind of fill in the insides here to give us a little bit of a contour. Then we'll leave the center a little bit lighter. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to put a color on top of it, but I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can actually see a difference in how my lips look. Like this just looks more plump. I like it. Alright you guys, sorry, my memory card was full, so it stopped filming. My battery's running really low, but this is the final look. I'm really happy with how it turned out. The lips are juicy. I put a little gloss on them to make them even more juicy. I kind of liked all the tips and tricks that we got. Oh, I gotta put blush on. What the heck? I'm losing my mind. Let's put in this Honeybee Gardens one. It's probably as close as we're getting. Or my camera dies. So this is Honeybee Gardens in Tryst, and then we'll take it, throw a little bit in that outer crease like they told us. Just so that everything looks cohesive. All right. I actually think that looks really good. So we are 10 for 10 on these hacks. I loved it. I'll list kind of all of them individually down below and the videos I got them from. But overall, I think everything was a win. The Soap Brow is probably my favorite. But matching your blush lip and then throwing the blush in the crease just to kind of bring it all together is a really smart move. And I just think everything looks really good and natural. Like, I'm super excited to go and crush this 1-year-old's birthday party. In a good way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Sunday. Bye, guys.